Am I live?
You're live.
All right. I don't have a lot of feedback, but I assume people are watching. I can't see you, but hopefully our production has begun. Welcome everybody to our, first ever online virtual club Mont Ste-Marie banquet. I know it's summer, but we've been going nonstop since you saw us last on snow. For those that are new that don't know me, I am Ryan, head coach of the club. Without my ski gear on, this is what I look like without a haircut for a couple weeks or months. The plan for the evening, thanks for joining us, assuming that there are people there. We're going to start with a couple quick comments from me. We're going to go into Dustin on the line, who has... I have 28 viewers. We are live. Wow. We'll jump into some comments from Dustin, and we'll go through the evening, the Golden Rake Award. We'll do the age group awards that we traditionally do every year. We're going to go through the World Cup Award, the DeWalt Award, Abbey Award, Coach of the Year, Most Improved for the club, the Athletes of the Year, and some closing remarks from Curtis. I believe is going to take the stand on that one. I'm getting lots of messages from people here on other screens, so thanks for everybody for cheering this on. I guess the first shout out that is definitely deserved, behind all of these screens that I have going on, Robin has taken the lead in organizing all of this from the technology end. So none of us will take any credit for figuring this out. Robin has done a fantastic job of orchestrating this entire production, and I can only assume it works, but judging by the those of you that are spamming my phone here beside me, it appears to be working. So there's your schedule. I'll update a quick kind of comment on plans that we have going forward. Obviously, it wasn't the end of the season that we were hoping for, and we had to do things a little untraditionally, like we all have. But really, we've debriefed with the coaches, the Alpine committee, the board. We've been working really nonstop since we were on snow to get stuff in place, or first debrief on last season, get stuff in place for the season coming. And we've got all the contingency plans for all the curveballs that COVID's going to throw at us. So we're going to be ready for next year. Registration is open for returning families, so please get in there, and it helps us plan for coaching, staff, and a whole number of things to have registration open early. You'll also hear or see that we have a U18 program on the registration for next year. It's very much our goal to have the U18, or I'd even like to call it U19 or U21. We want an avenue for the club athletes to continue racing for at least through their high school years, because it's sometimes the best years of racing. So we encourage people to get involved with the U18 program that is open. Lessons learned, we've debriefed. Jane and I have produced year-end reports that we've already started tackling for next year. So we've got a lot of stuff lined up for next year. We're excited to get going. We know things will be a bit different, but bear with us for those changes. I already thanked Robin for the production of all of this, but also as Alpine director, and I'll thank Jane a ton for working with me this season, who does so much behind the scenes to keep all of us afloat and get the everything going. So I'll be a little bit, I'll kind of try and turn the page. I'll jump in a couple other times, but it's really usually a great opportunity to stand in front of all the families. I know we did our age group meetings this year kind of one by one. Usually I get everybody in one room at once. That won't happen this year, hopefully at a later date. But I want to say to a lot of the younger families that are involved or that are here tuning in, we encourage everybody to get involved in the Club Mont Ste-Marie programs. We do so much more beyond hosting races from the volunteer side. So there's lots of opportunities coming. We've got the AGM this week. So opportunities to get involved in the club, whether you're on snow or not. It's a volunteer-run organization, and we've got 150-something parents in the club. So please get involved and help contribute. that's my opening remarks. Shortly, I'm going to turn the screen, microphone, camera, all of the above over to Dustin. The kind of cliche of really not needing any introduction, but worth acknowledging as Dustin makes a career change and turns the page on a chapter of his life. I'm going to go through some of the remarkable achievements that that some may not be aware of, despite knowing that the run is named after him. It's a legacy that is recent, and it's a phenomenal opportunity that our athletes should be familiar with Dustin. So some of the highlights I will shoot off here. 86 NORAM Cup top 30 results, 23 NORAM podiums, 6 NORAM victories. He was the 2010 overall NORAM champion. He has 23 top 30 World Cup finishes, 3 top 10 World Cup finishes, and 2 podiums, and 1 World Cup victory at World Cup finals. With that as well, the World Championship silver medal in Super G at Beaver Creek. I think we all know the famous picture of Dustin in the finish area. I certainly remember watching that. 9th place at the most recent Pyeongchang Olympics, and in 2015 was ranked 5th in the world in his discipline. And with the World Championship silver medal, Dustin became the final member of the Canadian Cowboys legacy. Was the different era of the Canadian Canucks. Dustin was the last one to become that. I've had the privilege of knowing Dustin since I was a U16 racer, and following his career, I remember when Dustin's signature was really just his handwriting on people's helmets. It was very legible. It was important that people knew whose signature that was, and there really was no mistaking it if you could read. That has evolved, as has Dustin's career and legacy. And Dustin, you've shown us all what is possible with your relentless drive to improve and an unwavering commitment to your craft. You trailblazed a path with the help of this amazing Mont Ste-Marie community that has made dreams of winning on the World Cup and racing at the Olympic level feel achievable to the athletes who train every weekend on the run appropriately named after you. So I will turn over the mic now to Dustin, and you can get me off the screen for a little while. All yours, Dustin.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Ryan. I think as my career went on, my signature got less and less legible, so you might be lucky if you can read, if you have one that you can actually read. I guess hi, everybody that I can't see. This is definitely a little bit weird, but I'm very glad to be able to be here and speak to my screen, essentially. You want me to fix it again? The first thing I have to say is a humongous thank you, coaches, for a great year. I've received so many incredible notes, messages, calls, letters from people that I assume are tuned in here. It's been truly touching, and those have meant so much to me. Doubly so since I haven't been able to actually see anybody in Canada. I've been in the US the whole time since hanging up the boards, and I haven't even seen my family. So those meant a lot. And I guess I would say this certainly isn't the way I envisioned retiring, with everything getting canceled, but I'm healthy, happy, and so are pretty much everybody in my life, so I can't really complain. My whole entire life until fairly recently was centered around Mont Ste-Marie. I spent most of my young life there. I've made a lot of my best friends there. So many fond memories up there. And I remember when we first started up at Ste. Marie 20-something years ago, there were about 30 kids in the program, I think. And it's been incredibly cool to see the growth and the new rippers and the new and the old faces, and just how many more little kids are out there and bigger kids are out there ripping when I come back to visit. So that's been really cool. I remember the old Friday night dinners at the lodge. I don't know if those still happen anymore, but I haven't been to one in a while. I usually spent those snow skating on the deck before the tiki bar existed, which I think I'm more partial to tiki bar these days. And GT snow racing down Exhibition and Premiere, which is now Carolyn Calvé. Torchlight parades at New Year's, hockey on the rink in town, which I haven't done in a while, missed that. And of course, tons of mountain biking, but back then there wasn't any mountain biking really. We just biked up and down Radar. And kind of surprised that I'm still in the sport after that introduction. My mom recently shared a goal setting sheet of mine from when I was 12. I very distinctly remember writing it in the Trapper Lodge with a bunch of other Ste. Marie athletes, and it included goals of making it to the World Cup, winning World Cup medals, Olympic gold, the kind of usual goals. And even though I had them written down, they kind of just seemed like a pipe dream and not all that realistic, given where I was growing up and how tiny our ski hill is and how tiny our region is compared to so much of the rest of the ski world. But kind of time just went on. I kept skiing, kept working hard, slowly and surely moved up the ranks, made it onto the Quebec team, which was absolutely huge for me at the time. Kept working hard, eventually made the national development team, which was honestly kind of a surprise at that point. I wasn't really expecting that. And then a few years later, I made it to the national team. And at that point, that was kind of when I really started to realize that those dreams and those goals I had written down a little while earlier could actually become a real thing. It was kind of starting to become a reality. I remember my first World Cup start in Solden. I skied absolutely terribly. Luckily, it was canceled after my first run, so that was okay. I got to put that one behind the back of my mind. I remember my first World Championship start. I also skied terribly. It took me almost 5 seasons from that first World Cup start for me to score World Cup points, which was definitely slightly longer than I would have liked. Patience was not exactly, and still isn't exactly, a strong suit of mine back then, but I never really gave up chasing those dreams and just kept striving towards them. But then a few months after that result, that first World Cup points, I was standing on the World Champs podium in Beaver Creek. And to say that was surreal is a total understatement. And I think, as Ryan said, that picture was right about the moment where my brain short-circuited as I crossed the finish line there, which was a moment I obviously will never forget. And after that, it was kind of just an absolute whirlwind of activity, press, drug testing, events, dinners, all sorts of stuff. But every single moment of that week is just seared into my brain, and I'll never forget it. And I think one of the coolest parts of that was that Colorado kind of had become my second home. It's where I am now. It's where my wife is from. And being able to share that moment with some friends and family that were out there was pretty much more than I could have ever hoped for. And I think the only thing that would have been better would be winning a medal at Mont Ste-Marie World Champs. But I think we need a couple longer runs for that to happen. After that, on my return home, after the World Champs medal, the club held a party that was just absolutely epic. And I think that is definitely one of my fondest and foggiest memories for sure. Another few moments from my career that I just kind of wanted to share and that really stand out in my mind were singing "O Canada" on the top of the podium in Maribel after winning at World Cup finals. I remember distinctly having the goal of singing "O Canada" on top of the podium in front of all the Euros and just being able to belt it out. And that was a moment for sure that I'll never forget. And then, of course, the Olympics. Those are just an experience all to themselves. I've never felt as excited and motivated and patriotic, honestly, as I did while warming up on that Super G day. You can just feel the energy of the people at home rooting for you, and instead of it just being the hometown fans of Ste-Marie, you can feel that love and that passion from the whole country, and it's definitely something super special. And I feel so lucky to have been part of it. Obviously, with isolation, I've had kind of a lot of time to think back and reflect on my career. I think more time than I probably would have normally. And there were so many ups and so many downs. Definitely a lot more downs, but that's ski racing. And definitely had a few moments of just like, holy crap, I won a World Cup. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like, wow. But in the end, I think the thing that I've mostly come to realize is that I'm very proud of what I accomplished. But I'm kind of amazed at it all still, but kind of how my career unfolded. But mostly I'm just thankful for those relationships and what skiing and ski racing have brought to me in my life. And I wouldn't trade those relationships and those experiences for the world. And then we have Ste-Marie. I'm so incredibly proud of the club for the DC Training Center. It's still pretty hard for me to believe and comprehend how far things have come compared to what I grew up on, skiing and training on Outaouais and racing on Outaouais 20 years ago. That being said, I still have not skied on the run since it was improved. And that feels it feels a little bit just to call it my run, but I'm really looking forward to actually hopefully getting to kick out of the start gate in some way and just actually ski down the run because it looks really, really awesome. And on that note, I received tons and tons of messages throughout the season about how much people enjoy the new run, the start lodge, which obviously is a game changer. And I would have given a lot to have a start lodge to warm up when I was freezing my butt off 20 years ago on Outaouais. But the spirit, the commitment, and the community of the club is something that's super rare. I've said it a lot. I've been hard-pressed to find a more dedicated and hardworking group of ski fanatics in all my travels. So a huge hats off to everyone who's had a hand in making it happen and continuing to make it happen. It's exceptionally cool. To close out my part, I just again wanted to say thank you to everyone for being so supportive of me during my career. That support and that love is something that I felt my whole life or my whole career, and definitely kept me going on a lot of occasions over in Europe. And yeah, I guess kind of like the party after World Champs. I kind of thought I'd like gotten my emotions out, but it's obviously a big moment for me, and just wanted to let everyone know how thankful I am. So cheers. Now I have the privilege of presenting the first award of the evening. The Golden Rake Award goes to a club member who regularly goes above and beyond and plays a significant role in the functioning of club activities. For many years, this volunteer has played a pivotal role in most of our club races. In the preseason, he can be found hiking up the hill, checking the timing and wires during the ski season. And during the ski season, he can usually be found in the timing hut, pretty important part of ski racing. This person is frequently relied upon to manage the timing and results of our most high-profile races and is one of the most knowledgeable people in the zone when it comes to all things timing. The 2019-2020 Golden Rake Award winner is Patrick Wagner. On behalf of the Alpine Committee, the board, and all of the club families, we want to thank you, Patrick, for all of your hard work and dedication to the club. Your immense contribution has helped to make Club Mont Ste-Marie the envy of the region when it comes to delivering timely and accurate race results. So hats off, Patrick. Can't see anyone else cheering, but I'm going to cheer. I think I'm handing it back over to Ryan. Thank you again, everyone, so much. I wish I could be there to celebrate with you, but appreciate you listening if you're out there.
Okay, I think we're back to me. If I speak it, there we go. There I am. This isn't a joke, Dustin. I promise it's not just you and me on the screen. That would be cruel. Dustin, congrats on everything. You say, you've had the support of the community, but you've also led the community and inspired the community to get involved in this sport. And like I've said a lot of times in my first year back at Mont Ste-Marie, at every point an athlete leaves the sport, and hopefully what we can offer as a club, as a community, is when an athlete leaves the club, they're taking away tools that support them for the rest of their lives, whether it's at your age with World Cup medals or out of U16 going into school and academics. So congrats again, Dustin, and happy retirement. We're going to get into the existing Club Mont Ste-Marie members. I'm going to hand things over to Alex, our U16 lead coach. So the floor is yours, Alex.
Perfect. Thanks, Ryan. I have the pleasure to announce all of the U16 athlete awards this season. I think overall we had a really strong season, and making my return this year with all my coaches and an amazing group of athletes. I'm really happy and proud of the performance that we put forth from everybody. So it was really hard to just pick 6 winners, but ultimately that's what we'd have to do. So we're going to start with the U16 most improved female athlete. This athlete was one of the most improved athletes this season. At the start of the season, this athlete was really developing the ability to link several strong carving turns together in her free skiing. But as we all know, putting our free skiing into the course is one of the most challenging aspects of this sport and can be fairly difficult. And although making this transition into the gates was a big challenge for her, each day, every training session, every turn she did, she got more consistent, gained more and more confidence, and most importantly, she got stronger and faster. This athlete started the season finishing just outside the top 30, and by the end of January, which is our second race after a strong training block, and for the rest of the season, she was finishing in and around the top 15, with her best results being at the Camp Fortune GS, where she finished 7th. So really strong improvements there. So this year, the most improved female athlete is Ava Baker. Congratulations. Round of applause. Awesome. So for the U16 most improved male athlete, From the start of this season, this athlete showed a strong desire and willingness to improve, and that was visible to all the coaches. Each day he showed up to training, eager and driven to make positive changes to its technical skills and tactical approach to the course. At the beginning of the season, he struggled to make it down the course without exiting the course 2 or 3 times or make it a couple gates, which was tough. And although I'm sure this was frustrating, he never once quit. He continuously battled through a tough and painful foot injury at the beginning of the season, but he persevered to make some really big improvements in his technical skills, and most importantly for him, his tactical approach to the course. And by the end of the season, he was consistently making down the entire course and showing that he had a lot of speed. And I think if we had the final races of the season, he would have really shown that he belongs at the top of the pack. So I'm really proud to this year name the most improved male athlete as Ewan Coulson. Congratulations. What a picture too. Wow, look at those angles. So next we'll move on to the U16 Female Sportsmanship Award. And we had a lot. One of the things I was really proud of in this team is that we showed a ton of sportsmanship throughout the entire season, and a lot of the other clubs and other zones noticed it and made a lot of comments about a lot of our athletes. So again, this was a tough one to pick one particular person. But from the very beginning, you could tell that she was not only committed to the sport, doing everything she could, dialing in equipment, making sure she was there for warm-up on time, leading warm-up, always having a smile during training days, or never letting races, poor runs, or if she fell, let her get to her. She was always, raising up her teammates and making them feel proud of their accomplishments. And I think that's a big thing at this level, that we're all in this together, and to show that level of sportsmanship throughout. And although she finished the season with kind of a reoccurring injury, every single time anybody saw her, she was smiling. And I think that really speaks volumes of this athlete. So for being an amazing athlete, great teammate, I'm proud to say for the Female Sportsmanship Award this year is Danielle Wilson. Look at that, great pictures too. Whoever put that together, top notch. Congratulations. For the U16 Male Sportsmanship Award, I'll, similar to Danielle, he always showed up with a smile, eager to get coaching feedback, always happy to be on the hill skiing, being with his teammates. And there's one particular story, I think it was at speed camp, kids, when they come down to DC, they put their skis everywhere. They head up for inspection to do their warm runs, and it's just a sea of skis. And this athlete, he basically lost his skis. Someone actually took his skis. It was what it turned out, so he didn't lose them. But for me as an athlete, if I didn't have my race skis on race day, I'd be freaking out. But he was calm, collected, couldn't find his skis, tried everything. But eventually he got on his sister's skis. We adjusted them, and they're different skis, different sizes, different brands, but he didn't let that bring him down. He still had the same motivation. He wanted to go out there and do his best, and he made it down, and he did not complain once. And I think that was what I was most proud of. So for that story, and for being just an amazing teammate throughout the entire season, the Male Sportsmanship Award goes to Sawyer Matherson. Congratulations there. Ironically, he has his skis, so that's good. For the U16 Female Athlete of the Year, this individual, she had an amazing season this winter and was by far the most consistent female athlete in the U16 age group. She finished every run of every zone race she started this season. And that consistency, by the end of the season, she ended up 3rd overall in the zone and went to provincials and had a couple of really, really strong top 20, I think one top 10 results in a race. So she proved that she's among one of the top skiers in the province. And she was consistently on the podium or in the top 5 all season. So, with those results, it was easy to say that Saffron Klotz, you were the female athlete of the year for the U16s. Congratulations. The U16 male athlete of the year. I just want to put a little side note. At the end of the season, Mont Ste-Marie had 5 of the top 8 U16 boys, Quebec and Ontario athletes. But for the Quebec provincial qualifiers, we had the top 5 out of the boys. So we had a strong group of guys this season. So it was really tough and difficult to single out a single athlete out of those 5. But this, like Safi's athlete, had a really amazing season. He always showed up to the races and training, eager to push the limits of himself and his skiing. And this showed in his dominant performances over the course of the season. And I'll let his performances speak for themselves. He only did not finish one run, and or one race. That's because his ski fell off, but he was 2nd in the first run. In the races that he finished, he had 3 first place, 1 third, 1 fourth, and 1 fifth. So he was consistently the top male athlete. And those dominant performances led Ryan Wagner to be awarded the U16 Male Athlete of the Year. Congratulations, Ryan. So that's it for me. Thanks a lot. I'll hand it back to Ryan.
Okay, here I am. Thanks so much, Alex. First off, congrats to all the U16s for a really strong showing. That's was superb leadership from our oldest athletes in the club to show up for warm up, for managing their equipment, and that was a very, very strong season and well led by all the U16 coaches. And thanks, Alex, for all the leadership and organization there. I'm going to transfer things over right away. We have
it's Robin here, just as
your
director.
Go, Robin.
I have a few videos to play on behalf of the athletes for the U16 coaches. So I'd like to let that play now before we get into the DeWalt Award.
Thank you, coaches and volunteers, for a great year.
Thank you, coaches, for a great year of U16.
I think you have to unmute it on the presentation.
Hi, I'd like to give the U16 coaching staff a big thanks, and I wish you all a great summer.
Thank you, coaches, for the great season.
Although it was cut short, we had a great time.
Thanks, coaches. I had a great year. I'll tell you that for free. And all I have to say is party on.
Thanks for an amazing and super fun season.
All right, back over to you, Ryan.
Sorry, Robin, I cut you off. I missed my notes here. You needed to make a good appearance anyway, Robin, behind the scenes. Thanks to all the U16 athletes. I'm going to hand things over to Mike Smith, who is presenting our next award. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you very much, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be participating in your virtual banquet this evening. I have the distinct pleasure of awarding this season's DeWalt Award. The DeWalt Award is presented annually to the club volunteer member or coach who either through accident, dumb luck, cerebral weakness, or just poor decision-making manages to make a major blunder for all to witness. This year's unanimous winner is a club member who wasn't even volunteering at the U16 Art Tommy Super G race. On the Friday night prior to the race, about 15 centimeters of fresh powder fell at Mont Ste-Marie. The next morning, the race was ready to get underway when the start referee noticed that although the hand timer was present in the start, they did not have the start hand timing equipment with them. A quick call down to timing and confirmation was received that the equipment was being sent up to the start with a reliable Club Mont Ste-Marie member getting on the chair. The start crew waited, and they waited, and they waited some 25 minutes before the equipment finally arrived at the start and the race could commence. The Club Mont Ste-Marie member was questioned why it took so long, and because the race had to be delayed until the equipment arrived. The club member informed the start that when they were going up the chair, they noticed that no one had skied the fresh powder on Formidable, and they were going to get first tracks down it. Completely oblivious that the race could not start until the equipment he was charged with was delivered to the start. For this blatant indiscretion, this season's DeWalt Award winner is the one and only Howie Silver. Due to Howie winning this award, he also must display it predominantly in his condo throughout the next season for all to admire. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Very eloquently said, and congrats, Howie, on your award. We're going to continue going through the awards. We're going to pass things over to Phil for the U14 awards. Phil, all yours.
Hang on here. All right, there I am. I'll move back a little bit. Hi there. Nice to see everyone, I guess. I am just going to have a few quick remarks before I get going here. I just want to say we had a lot of fun on the U14 team this year. It was just a shame we couldn't finish it, but yeah, it was an awesome time. I want to thank the parents, aka the volunteers, the chauffeurs, the cooks, all fit on the umbrella of parent, and without you guys, we wouldn't have the amazing athletes we have to work with. So thanks to you guys. And on that note, thanks to the athletes as well. We ask you as coaches to do a lot of crazy things and stay out in the cold, and you do it. So thanks for showing up and working hard and listening most of the time. And yeah, thanks to the coaches that I had a great pleasure to work with. It was awesome. They would have loved to be here to present, but just for simplicity, it's just going to be me yabbering on here for the next few minutes. So, yeah, I guess I will just get into the awards then. So, most improved girl, we're going to start with. So, this person was already a great and elegant skier. She started the season placing around the 30s, which is great. But we saw an extra gear in training. We saw a lot more speed. So, and then she finally showed that at the Super G at Calabogie. She finished 17th. At the very next race at Edelweiss, she finished 16th. And unfortunately, that was the last race of the season. We would have loved to see her keep sending it for the rest of the year, but that's the way she goes. Anyways, the most improved female athlete is Grace Baker. Yes. All right. Good picture too. That's a quality portrait. All right. Congrats, Grace. I guess it runs in the family for the Bakers. Okay, moving on to the male athlete. This, again, already a good skier to begin with. Started the season late and missed a lot of our training, but got up to speed real quick. His big breakthrough came at the GS at Camp Fortune, which was in difficult conditions, and he came down and threw down a 12th place. And then from there, the rest of the season was more of the same. Just to put in context how much he improved, last year he was 19th overall for his year of birth, and this year he was 8th. So that's a huge improvement. The most improved male is Nate Ferguson. Great picks as well. That attitude on the right is why he improved so much. All right. I guess I'm moving on here. The next one is for sportsmanship. So we're going to start with the girls again. For me, the sportsmanship award is someone who the coaches love and the athletes love and just makes the team more fun. And it's also someone who works hard and has a great attitude. And this person basically shows all those characteristics and more. I know she didn't get the results she wanted, but she did make some huge improvements, and I think she even likes slalom now. The Sportsmanship Female Award goes to Lauren Pender. Looking fly there. All right. Congrats, Lauren. And I guess I'll just take this moment to make sure I may have said already, but again, the coaches would have loved to be presenting this award and loved working with you guys. So just imagine them all shaking your hand and taking pictures with you, okay? All right, now moving on to the Male Sportsmanship Award. Again, same things I said for Lauren. You know, someone who makes the team better just by their presence, helps us coaches, makes the experience better for everyone. This particular person was great to have around because he kept some of our more rowdy boys in check, which was very helpful. Not to mention, he was also very fast at ski racing. I'll never forget how he came second at our last race at Edelweiss after falling, which is a very impressive feat. The winner of the sportsmanship for U14 boys is Cole Pollock. Oh yeah. Double pick there. Very nice. Congrats, Cole. All right. Next page. All right, we're on to Female Athlete of the Year. Again, trending here. Great skier to begin with. Congrats and thanks to the previous coaches who coached these athletes. And they're skiing, the great skiers we had. But basically what this person did this year was she went from being super sendy to even somehow more sendy. You'll never see someone go off the jumps bigger than her. She outjumped all of us, even the coaches, I think, on the jumps. And I'll never forget how she came down in the second round at Camp Fortune when we were talking about canceling the race and came down in second place. Fortunately, it didn't count for the points, but then she kept the good vibes going for the rest of the year. She went on to win 2 more races after that, the Super G at Calabogie and the GS at Edelweiss. So the Female Athlete of the Year for the U14s is Finley Summers. There she is. Wow. Looks like Nate's pick too with that helmet. Congrats, Finley. All right. Now the Male Athlete of the Year. This person is just an amazing athlete. And he is the embodiment of the French, or I guess more specifically Quebec saying, "Ça passe ou ça casse," which basically means he's either fast or he crashes. With that attitude, he won 2 races and finished second in the overall standings. He probably would have won more if he finished more, but hey, ça passe ou ça casse. The winner of the Male Athlete of the Year for U14 is Thomas Miles. Oh, what a great picture. There is the cast portion of Ça passe ou ça casse. All right, I think that's it for me. Thanks again. I'm sorry we couldn't all be here celebrating together, but it was a great season. Speak soon. Thank you.
Fix it here?
Yeah, no, we're good. What? You want me to fix it again?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you, coaches, for a great year.
Thank you, coaches. It was a great year.
Hey, U14 coaches, this year was pretty awesome. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, coaches, for such a great season. I learned a lot, I had fun, and hope you guys have a good summer.
Hey, U14 coaches and U14 racers, it's James here. I really hope you all had a good year. I had a pretty good year. I hope you all progressed. I hope I did too. And I thank Phil and all my other coaches, mainly Phil, for helping me out with my racing and especially for my training. And thank you very much for setting up our Tuesday night training at Mont Cascade. So again, thank you very much for your year. I had one hell of a time.
Thank you, coaches, for a great season.
Hi, I just want to say that this ski season was really fun, and it was interesting transitioning to Mont Ste-Marie, and the coaching was amazing. It was fun skiing, and I think I improved a lot as a skier.
Thank you, Ben.
Have fun.
Thanks, coaches. I had a great season. I learned a lot. Have a great summer.
competition in the Club Mont Ste-Marie program. Great job, Connor. Good job, good job. And another good shot. A lot of good U14 pictures in there too. Good job, parents. I'm going to transition things over to Justin. Justin for the U12 awards. Please take the screen.
And Ryan, I'll just let you know, I just received notification that I had you muted for some of those. So just to let everybody know, Connor Welsh, I'm sorry I muted Ryan while he was presenting for that one, but you will hear the sound now afterwards, but I'm sure you can read his lips. Over to you, Justin.
Yeah, hi. Congrats to Connor. Awesome job this year. So first off, before we start, I just want to say thank you to all the parents. Thank you for your dedication and your support throughout the winter. We all know that it's impossible to achieve this sport without you, so thank you. Second, I wanted to say congratulations to all the athletes for this amazing year. Your hard work was admirable, and even though the season was cut short, it does not take away from what you guys have achieved. So congratulations, and just keep it going because it was awesome. So to present the first award, I will send it to James.
Hey everyone. So for this award, for the most improved female athlete, we have an athlete whose dedication this season paid off as her skiing improved significantly over the course of the year. She always showed up on time and ready to train. She never seemed to quit, even on the cold days, and this determination was reflected in her skiing ability. This award goes to Amélie Labelle. All right, for the boys, we had an athlete whose efforts this season allowed him to improve tremendously throughout the year. He always looked forward to skiing, whether it was gates or in free skiing. He worked hard this season, and it was exemplified by his results. And this award goes to Oliver Miranda. Congratulations to both of these athletes on their successful seasons, and I'll hand it over to JJ now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be presenting the U12 Sportsmanship Award. So for the U12 Female Sportsmanship Award, this season, this athlete always showed up to training with the biggest smile. Her level of sportsmanship was top-notch, and she was truly a pleasure to have on the team this season. This season's U12 Sportsmanship Girl Award goes to Audrey Famdin. Woohoo! Now for the Male Athlete Award, or Sportsmanship Award. So this athlete showed up focused and ready to work hard on every training day. His positive attitude was definitely contagious, providing a much more pleasant environment for all teammates as well as coaches. This season's U12 Sportsmanship Award for males goes to Matthias Staples. Congrats to both of you guys. You guys are both awesome, and we all the coaches loved your guys' attitude throughout the whole season. I'm now going to pass the mic off to Justin, and he is going to be speaking about the Athlete of the Year award.
All right, so I will be presenting the U12 athlete for the girls. So this athlete had a huge transition this year, going from U10 to U12. In my opinion, one of the hardest things to do is to transition from stubbies to full gates. She went in there and tried and kept trying until she figured it out, and her hard work really paid off as she finished second in SQA points for the region and fifth overall in points. So the Girl Athlete of the Year goes to Poppy Klotz. Congrats. Now, for the Guy Athlete of the Year, I've had the pleasure of coaching this athlete for 2 years in a row now. And when I coached him last year, I saw a lot of potential in his skiing. Unfortunately, last year, he did have issues finishing races. So coming into this year, I was really looking forward to seeing what he could get done. and it was truly remarkable. Lots of good results. And I really mean this, but I've never seen an athlete who just consistently sends it as hard as he does all the time. So for Athlete of the Year U12, Liam Carrier, congrats, buddy. And
Thanks for the amazing ski season. Have a great summer and see you next year.
Thank you, U12 coaches, for a great year. I had a lot of fun.
Hi, coaches. Thanks for an amazing season.
Thank you for being so fun and awesome. I feel like I improved so much this year because of you guys. Thanks.
I just want to thank all my U12 coaches for making this such an amazing and fun year. And I'm sad that I didn't get to give you guys a proper goodbye.
I'll jump in quick. Just a quick thanks to Juice and all the U12 coaches. Thanks for you guys getting together and arranging getting those awards presented. Congrats to all the U12 athletes. There was a ton of good skiing this season, a lot of improvement. So tough awards to pick, like every category. And a special shout out to Juice for Justin for stepping up when we needed somebody to take the lead in U12. It's never something you're ready for until you do it. And the first year you learn a lot. So I know, Juice, you have high standards for the way you want things done. And that was it was great to have you take the lead and work with you and learn a lot of lessons like we all do in the first year in a lead position. So congrats to all the U12 athletes and coaches. We're going to transfer things over to Estelle, who's presenting the Abby Award, one of the other non-category awards that she will explain. So over to you, Estelle. Thanks.
All right. Hi, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing well. So the Abby Award, I was going to read off the meaning of the award because it's actually a pretty cool award, and I'm really excited that we get an extra award in U10 to hand out. So in December 2015, 9-year-old Abby was ski racing in Nikiska, with her teammates and had a tragic ski accident that took her life. Abby was a high-spirited kid that touched people's hearts with her smile and laughing. She never won first, second, or third, but she put her heart and soul into skiing. Abby had a passion that everyone else could see and always gave it her best, whether it was skiing, school, or friendship. To honor her memory in a very special way, the Abby Award was created. On the medal are all things that made Abby special: happy, always smiling, 100% effort, fun, passion, and love for skiing. There are certainly young athletes out there that have the same things that make them special too. So our hope when you receive the award is that you will always remember what it takes, that it takes more than winning a race to make a great athlete. And I think that's what makes U10 racing so important. So the recipient from this club is part of the foundation's dream to be able to hand out an award to one U10 athlete from each club across Canada. So I'm really honored to be able to hand out this award, and also honored to hand out this award to an athlete that I've been really fortunate to follow and coach over the last number of years. And she's just a cool kid, and that's Samantha Bristow Bourgogne. So congratulations, Sam, and keep being you. All right, so I guess we'll keep going with the rest of the awards for U10. And maybe this is a good chance to, one, congratulate Dustin on his awesome career, because he's really inspired and he's continuing to inspire everybody. Also, a big thank you to the families. We had an awesome crew of kids this year. And that's really thanks to all the families, and that's really the extended families. I know there's a lot of grandparents that are involved. It's not just the parents. So thank you to everyone. So the next award, the most improved female athlete. So usually there's a lot of discussion between the coaches as to, who's going to get which award. But this one was hands down, all the coaches. There was everybody agreed. She had a really rough first day. She started the ski season late. But she was just so determined to catch up to everybody else. And in the end, not only did she catch up, but she ended up surpassing some of the people that had started earlier in the season. So the most improved female athlete award goes to Layla Cudney. So congratulations, Layla. And she also got an awesome haircut at the end of the season. So excited to see what it looks like next year. All right, so the next award goes to the most improved boy. And again, this is one where coaches hands down, no arguing on this one. There's a huge amount of improvement during the year. We even made up a new drill. It was the Ski Like Jacob drill. So big shout out to Jacob too for getting this athlete to where he got to by the end of the season. So congratulations to Finley Hébert. And that's what Finley looks like. So you all know what he looks like with his ski stuff on. All right, the next award, Female Sportsmanship Award. This athlete is just, always looking out for her friends. Very coachable in the sense that she's always asking, okay, how can I do better? Always asking why are we doing this? Or so just always wanting to step it up to the next level, and also being there for her friends, cheering her friends on. So this award goes to Evangeline Labelle. Congratulations, Evangeline. All right, and the next award, the Male Sportsmanship Award, I'm going to do it in French because I think I want him to understand what I'm going to say. Alors, en français, cet athlète-là, toujours un gros sourire, même s'il pleuvait, même s'il y avait pas très grand, donc même s'il y avait beaucoup de neige, pas de problème. S'il faisait froid, pas de problème, toujours prêt à skier, toujours prêt à encourager ses amis et surtout sa sœur. Donc, le Male Sportsmanship Award va à Arnaud Aubé. Félicitations, Arnaud. The Female Athlete of the Year. I guess I can't say her nickname yet because that would give away who it is. She's very shy, but deep down, she has this huge competitive fire. And just always improving, always looking to improve. And she had an awesome weekend at Le Relais. Showed us all what it was all about. Lots of smiles, good results. Had an awesome day. And so the Female Athlete of the Year award goes to the Pink Mamba because she used to wear a one-piece, which she doesn't have a picture of here, a pink one-piece. So that's Reeve McInnes. And actually that picture where she's got her helmet on, that's from Le Relais. So you can just see how happy she is there. So awesome job, Reeve. All right, the last award goes to the Male Athlete of the Year. So when we did the goal setting, one of the questions that was on the rain day, one of the questions was, who is your favorite athlete? And this athlete said their favorite athlete was Bodie Miller. So when Phil mentioned ça passe ou ça casse, this is exactly this athlete. At Le Relais, there was a lot of crashing. There was a lot of not finishing races. But he decided to take that and got his dad to email, I think, Jane and Ryan and say, I want to sign up for Tuesday training. I want to do better. So the Male Athlete of the Year award goes to Liam Merrick, who I'm assuming also rides his mountain bike the same way he skis. So watch out for him out there. All right, so thank you very much, everyone, and hope to see you all next season in person. No virtual skiing.
Thank you for the ski season, Michaela.
Hi U10 coaches, allô les coachs de U10. Merci pour une bonne saison. Thank you for a very nice season. I love you a lot. Je vous aime beaucoup. Bye. Coaches, I had lots of fun this year.
Thank you for teaching me. I had a really fun season.
Hi U10 coaches, allô les coachs de U10. Merci pour une bonne saison. Thank you for a nice season. Bye.
Anna, you're my favorite coach. Thanks for coaching me this year. Thank you for teaching me. I loved all the stuff. Coach, it's been so much fun. Bye.
Hello, this is Darkside, and I am going to haunt your dreams. Hey guys, I miss you all. It's so nice to see you finally, and hope we have a good year next year. Bye.
Okay, back to me. I think I'm unmuted. Yes, I am. Before I present the Coach of the Year award, which will be the last sign off for me for the evening, I do want to go through and thank all the parents for working with me and all the coaching staff this season. It's a huge time commitment that you give to having your athletes in this sport. It's worth it, and we very much appreciate it. To the athletes and to the U10 athletes that were new to the club this year, you've embarked on an incredible journey that we hope through the next couple of years you'll take so much from the sport, ski results to be the next person to have a name or a trail named after them, but also all the things that we take away from sports that we love as coaches. I want to thank the board, the Alpine Committee, for everything that gets done behind the scenes, and all the parents that volunteer so much of their time. There's some that are leaving. I know there's some comments being made later, so I won't jump the gun there. But before I go to the Coach of the Year award, I really want to thank the staff for working with me this year. There's a whole Google Drive, there's calendars, there's a ton of emails, phone calls, meetings. It's an immense time commitment that the coaches give to the club, to the athletes. And I'm very proud of what this staff did. There's a lot of new coaches, a very young staff that came in and really took advantage of learning opportunities, that worked with one another, that shared knowledge, and our senior coaches did a remarkable job of enabling that learning. So I really enjoyed working with all the coaches this season, and I hope all of you will be back. I know some won't. This year's Coach of the Year, I know this individual already knows that he won this award, so I won't make it a big secret that this year's Coach of the Year is Phil Mock. This picture sums it up, Phil. I selfishly, if I tell my own little story, Phil, I remember meeting you 17 years ago in an NCO team van as my first year racing. And I remember just this passionate joy for skiing, that infectious smile that we all see, that everybody knows your absolute huge heart. For me personally as head coach, the number of times, Phil, you stepped up when we needed somebody to fill a hole or do something or contribute in a way that goes beyond the job description. Every time Phil stepped up, even when it wasn't easy, and life is challenging at times, Phil always prioritized his athletes, the club, and his role as a coach. Phil, I know you're not returning next year full time. The door is always open to come and contribute in any way, because we're all so lucky to work with you as a peer, and for the athletes to have you around to really appreciate that the sport is so much more than the emails and calendars that we live. So Phil, you're a candidate for Coach of the Year anytime you've put on the Mont Ste-Marie coaching jacket. I know the community will see you. I wish I was in the room with you now. Congrats, Phil, on Coach of the Year, and coach of all the years that you worked and you gave so much time to Mont Ste-Marie. So congrats, Phil. Extremely, extremely well deserved, and we'll be seeing you soon. I actually, that's right, you get to jump back in here, I get to hand it over to Phil and Alex for the most improved athletes of the entire club. So once again, congrats, Phil. All the best and see you soon. And signing off for me for the evening, but we still have lots to go through, so stay tuned.
Hello, am I on? Oh, there I am. Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for the kind words, Ryan. And yeah, I'm a little emotional, maybe not as much as Dustin, but I echo his feelings from earlier. It's been an amazing ride for me. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be around the hill, but yeah, I've 10 years or 11 years, whatever it was. I've just been very fortunate. Mont Ste-Marie is an amazing place. Got to work with amazing athletes and be part of that community and with those amazing parents. Yeah. It's not. If I'm not back next year, it's not because of anything other than just life moving on. But yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks everybody for everything. Okay, I'll move on for most improved female athlete. This I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm inspired by Estelle. I'm gonna try French here. Cette skieur était déjà une très bonne skieur à la début de l'année, mais elle a définitivement fait des grands améliorations. On a demandé ce qui a manqué avec son ski, c'était l'agression. Et elle le savait, et les coachs le savaient, et elle a travaillé très fort sur ça toute l'année, et elle a amélioré. La plus facile façon de démontrer qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait, c'est de regarder les résultats. L'année dernière, pour son année de naissance, elle était 18e overall. Et cette année, pour son année de naissance, elle était 10e, donc un grand saut en avant. Et je sais que si elle continue à skier agressivement, elle va faire encore une autre saut. Je sais que les coachs sont très fiers d'elle. Le skieur le plus amélioré du club MSM cette année, c'est Gabriel Vachon. Nice pick, Gab. Congratulations. Hopefully that was understandable.
All right, so I think it's I get to present the most improved male athlete, but before I start, I want to thank Phil for his 11 years of service. He started when I was an athlete, and I think it speaks volumes of him as a coach to see how many of his former athletes are still coaching at the club. The passion and that you put into skiing, I think was infectious, and I think that's proven by all the coaches that are coaches now because of you. So thank you, Phil. Before I start the most improved male athletes, I just want to put his season in context. So last season, this athlete was finishing consistently in the top 20. He had a couple of top 10 finishes with, I think, a best result of 4th or 5th. And he finished 13th overall in the season. This year he showed up with a massive smile on his face. You could see the desire. He wanted to go fast. He had the swagger, but I think he lacked that little bit of confidence that can take you to the next level, just that confidence in yourself. And that was what he was really focusing on, training at the beginning of the season, what he has to do for in his technical skiing, his tactical approach. How could he get that extra 10th, half a second faster? And every training session, you could see he was focused on something, he wanted to improve, and he was getting stronger and stronger and stronger as the season went on. Out of the 8 races this season, he finished inside the top 10 out of 7 of those 8 races. The one race he finished outside the top 10, he finished 11th, a couple tenths outside the top 10. And as that season went on, as he did more and more training, you could see that he had that confidence. It was growing and growing inside of him, And when the time speed camp rolled around, you could tell he was ready to catch fire. And he certainly did on that first day of speed camp, where he won the first race, and he won the next race. He came second the second race, but won the first one. And the next day, he's rounded out a strong performance with a 5th place finish in the second race. These performances earned him a spot on the provincial team, where he went on to represent the club and the zone with distinction. And he concluded the season with another strong performance at the tough and long Edelweiss slalom, finishing second. Overall, he ended the season in second place, an 11-spot improvement from last season to this season. So I want to congratulate the male athlete of the year, Angus Summers. Congratulations. I think the next award is the female athlete of the year. Yeah. Well, I've already spoken about this strong athlete this evening. I don't really want to repeat myself too much, but her strong, consistent performances throughout the entire season, her passion and her drive, and how her strong skiing that she showed each and every training day, and then a strong performance at the provincials. I think this athlete was a clear and deserved winner of this club award this year. So Saffron Klotz, congratulations, you are the female athlete of the year. Thank you, everybody. I think that's all for me tonight.
All right, so I believe it's my turn now, and to further build upon the club athlete of the year, we already know who it is, but I just wanted to further express how dominant he was in the U12 age group this year in the zone. He ended up winning the overall title by over 250 points with the finals left. It was a shame that we weren't able to see what he could produce at provincials. I was very disappointed to see that. He won the first race of the season by over a second and a half, and just continued to work and just sent it as hard as he could. Luckily this year he was able to find the balance between sending it too hard and being smart. So Liam Carrier, good job, buddy. You killed it, and everyone watch out, because he's going to be a dominating force for years to come.
So we'll be moving on to the President's Award, and I think Courtney Wagner will be stepping in for that.
Sorry, thanks, Robin. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to Curtis for his dedication over the last 2 years as president of the club, and 8+ years before that, or probably even more, doing everything. I'm always amazed at the amount of time Curtis is able to dedicate to the club, whether it be on the hill, in the board meetings, or in his wood shop, making all the beautiful awards that have been presented tonight. If you haven't had a chance to see them, they're beautiful, and the amount of time that it took him is amazing. So thank you very much, Curtis. We have an award plaque to give to you for all your hard work over the last couple of years. Thank you.
And before we hand it over to Curtis, who I think he just turned off his camera, I do want to address a bit of a mystery that come up, and I've received a few texts about it, so I figured I'd do it now. The picture of the broccoli is part of the award shout out. I'm not going to name the person who uploaded, but it was completely an accident. And you managed to catch the fact that I didn't look at the videos for the U10 as I was running out of time in editing. But the broccoli uploader, you know who you are. You texted me. Thanks for that, though. So with that being said, we turn it over to Curtis to finish up the awards.
All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? We're good? Thumbs up if you hear me. Excellent.
Yep.
First of all, thank you very much, Courtney. That was very kind of you for the shout out. And please don't tell my boss about how much time I spend on the club stuff. I appreciate that. I have the opportunity tonight to say to provide the closing comments. But before I do that, we have a special recognition that we'd like to share. This year, I have the honor and the privilege of recognizing the extraordinary dedication and contributions of one of our volunteer individuals. And I'm not going to keep it as a surprise very long, but I do want to do a quick drum roll and thank Julie Klotz for every aspect of the work that she puts into the Alpine racing program. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and just talk about some of those accomplishments, but I want to start off by sharing a piece of advice that Mike had shared with me a few years ago about Julie. And I don't remember exactly what the circumstance was, but I remember the message quite clearly. He said to me, to fully understand Julie's motivation, you need to grasp that she is single-mindedly dedicated to Alpine racing. Racing drives her. It is what has always motivated her and compelled her, and her focus, influence are always directed towards the betterment of the sport. And we've all, locally, we've all been witness to the simple fact that Julie has made our programs better. But you may also know that Julie has done what Julie has done for Alpine racing on an international level, on a provincial level, on a national level as well. And it's part of the human condition to take some things for granted. We often don't see the forest for the trees, but in our case, in this tiny little club, as Dustin liked to call it, nestled in the Gatineau Hills, we are blessed with an Alpine ski racing enthusiast that few other clubs in Canada can boast. Dustin mentioned the dedication that the volunteers in our community demonstrate, but truly, Julie is unique. Her commitments to her contributions to our Alpine program are pretty amazing. I actually want to list them off. She has been the race chairman for many, many races in the zone. She is a perennial consultant to all of the chiefs of race. She's a World Cup volunteer official, most recently at the Lake Louise. She was an Alpine committee member. I think I was going to stop after just a few, but I want to keep going here. Just some of the other things that she's accomplished. She's a former Alpine program administrator. She's a former director with the club and the Outaouais Ski Zone. She was a start lodge builder, decorator, and she's now the steward of that start lodge. And you've probably seen her up there making improvements since it was built. I'm sure it'll be the same thing when we start our construction of the finish lodge as well. She is a Cordon Bleu chef as well. I'm not sure if everybody realizes that, but that's relevant to all of us because she's a regular contributor to the volunteer hot lunches. And it may also explain why Mike looks so well fed. She's been the leader behind the Club MSM's contributions to the national ski racing program with the NORAMs and the Super Series. And keep in mind that both of those programs bring a lot of money to our club. The revenues are very, very, profitable is a good word for it. She recently became a ski patroller, and I don't know if you know what the motivation was behind that. She became a ski patroller because she wanted to cut down the costs of our race program, and these were paid roles, and she now volunteers. She's a ski patroller, but she volunteers as a ski patroller on race days. Amazing. And then to top it all off, she was a Canadian ski team member, and she was a participant in the 1988 Calgary Winter Games. So it's true. Julie's Alpine focus is singular, it's extraordinary, it's outstanding, it's uncommon, and it's really unprecedented. Club Mont Ste-Marie has been the primary beneficiary of her efforts. Thank you very much for all that you do, Julie. I'm actually going to give her a standing ovation here. Anyway, all right. So, closing remarks. I think it's fair to say that the end of this season was like no other in history, and I don't think that's an understatement. Most of us will remember where we were and what we were doing when we learned that our borders were closing, our economy was shutting down, and our alpine programs were being terminated. This does not take away from the successes we witnessed throughout the ski season. So real quickly, I'd like to say some thanks. First of all, congratulations to all of our award winners tonight, and to all of the athletes who took a step forward in their ski careers. Félicitations à tous nos lauréats d'aujourd'hui et à tous ceux les athlètes qui ont pris un pas à l'avance dans leur carrière de ski. Thank you to Ryan, to Jane, and to all the coaches who showed up day in, day out to make and help mold our racers into better people and better members of our community. Merci aux entraîneurs qui se sont présentés jour après jour pour aider à former de meilleurs coureurs et de meilleurs membres de notre communauté. Special thanks to our volunteer group who make the club so special. Un gros merci à tous nos bénévoles qui rendent le club Mont Ste-Marie très, très spécial. Thank you again also for joining us, Dustin. That was pretty amazing, our little talk, a very, very compelling and hopefully motivating talk for our young athletes. A quick thanks to Robin for putting this all together. This was pretty amazing, and I've been living the virtual life at work for the last 3 months, and this is something that I want to share with our organization and the way you've pulled this off, because it's a really amazing event. So I look forward to seeing everybody in the fall. À bientôt. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.